Samantha, I have to say, this was one of the most nauseating, horrible things I've ever had to listen to.
Meghan Markle's sister, Samantha Markle, is not backing down.
What if the story most people believe about Meghan Markle is only part of the picture? For years, her public narrative has been presented as smooth and straightforward. Graduation, acting ambitions, red carpets, and eventually a place inside one of the most famous families in the world. It looks polished, carefully curated, and easy to follow. But some commentators and family members have long suggested that there may be lesser-known chapters in that timeline, moments that were never fully explained and quietly left out of the public conversation. These claims do not come from official records or verified documentation, but from personal accounts and long-standing speculation that continue to circulate online and in media discussions. In June 1994, Meghan completed her studies at Immaculate Heart High School in Los Angeles, stepping into adulthood alongside classmates focused on college plans and summer freedom. According to publicly available biographies, she later took what has been described as a gap year before beginning her studies at Northwestern University in 1995. That year has often been summarized as a period of exploration and personal growth. However, critics point out that this stretch of time has never been clearly documented in the same way as other phases of her life. There are no widely known photos, travel records, or public anecdotes that detail where she was or what she was doing during that period.
Samantha, that your sister tried to make out that she's some sort of repressed.
While that absence alone does not imply wrongdoing, it has fueled curiosity among observers who closely analyze celebrity timelines. Some of the most dramatic claims come from Meghan's estranged sister, who has publicly alleged that the gap year involved serious personal events rather than travel or leisure. These statements remain allegations and have not been independently verified, but they continue to resurface in online conversations and tabloid commentary. Importantly, no official evidence has been presented to confirm these assertions. According to these unverified accounts, Meghan may have spent time in Las Vegas during that period, a city known for private ceremonies and quick legal proceedings. Commentators speculate that a short-lived teenage relationship could have ended quietly without long-term legal or public consequences. If true, such situations are not uncommon and are often resolved discreetly, especially when involving young adults. What adds intrigue for some observers is the claim that related records were sealed, a legal option that exists in many jurisdictions and does not automatically imply scandal or misconduct. Privacy protections are often used to shield young individuals from long-term exposure over personal decisions made early in life. From a factual standpoint, there is no public confirmation of a marriage, annulment, or any related events beyond personal allegations. Meghan herself has never acknowledged such claims, and no verified documents have surfaced to support them. As with many celebrity rumors, speculation often grows in the absence of clear answers. What remains certain is this: early adulthood is complex, personal, and rarely as linear as public biographies suggest. Gaps in timelines can exist for many ordinary reasons, and privacy does not equal deception. Still, the conversation continues, driven by curiosity, family conflict, and the intense scrutiny that follows public figures everywhere. The unanswered questions keep circulating, but without verified evidence, they remain part of online speculation rather than established fact.
She lies a lot about her stuff. We've caught her in so many lies. Her own sister has come forward, her family, everybody is exposing the lies that she's been telling.
To understand why this alleged early relationship is often described as short-lived, many commentators say you first have to understand who Joe Giuliano was said to be, and the kind of family environment he reportedly came from. It's important to note that everything discussed here is based on unverified personal accounts and long-running claims, not confirmed public records. According to those accounts, Joe was connected to a traditional Italian-American family based in Chicago, a background very different from the future public life later associated with Meghan Markle. These families are often described as private, close-knit, and deeply protective of their own, valuing loyalty, stability, and discretion above outside attention. Fame and public exposure were not said to be priorities in that world. Commentators who discuss this period often frame it as a clash of life directions rather than a dramatic confrontation. On one side, there was an alleged expectation of settling down early and building a quiet family life. On the other, there were ambitions linked to education, creative work, and long-term career goals that would eventually involve public visibility. According to these narratives, the tension wasn't loud or explosive. It reportedly built slowly, behind closed doors. The most serious claims emerge when discussing what some allege happened only months after the rumored Las Vegas ceremony. According to unverified statements repeated in online discussions, Meghan may have faced an unexpected personal situation at a very young age. These claims have never been supported by official documentation, and no independent sources have confirmed them. Some accounts go further, suggesting that a private arrangement was reached within the Giuliano family circle. These stories allege that responsibility for a child was handled internally, without public legal filings or media involvement. It's crucial to stress that such claims remain allegations only, shared by individuals who say they were familiar with the family, but never verified by records or direct statements from Meghan herself. In these retellings, privacy is often emphasized as the driving force. Families sometimes choose to handle sensitive matters quietly, especially when young people are involved and long-term reputations are at stake. Legal sealing of records, where it occurs, can be a standard privacy measure and does not, on its own, confirm the nature of any agreement.
Rather lofty to suggest the ability to align with issues of womanhood and suffering. On the grounds that, and she did bring up the fact that, she went to Immaculate Heart.
Those who repeat these claims often point to one recurring theme: discretion. They argue that the alleged annulment process was handled in a way meant to close the chapter completely, allowing all parties to move forward without public scrutiny. Annulments, particularly involving young adults, are sometimes resolved quietly to avoid lasting consequences. What is undeniable is that this entire narrative exists in the space between rumor, family conflict, and public fascination. No verified evidence confirms these events, and Meghan has never publicly addressed or acknowledged them. As with many celebrity origin stories, speculation fills the gaps left by limited information. Ultimately, this chapter remains part of ongoing online discussion rather than established fact. It reflects how intensely public figures are examined, and how quickly private allegations can become enduring talking points when fame enters the picture. What followed this alleged chapter was not confrontation, interviews, or public clarification, but silence. No statements, no acknowledgements, and no visible connection between Meghan Markle and the claims that continue to circulate quietly in the background. For commentators who revisit this period, that silence is often framed not as proof of wrongdoing, but as a deliberate choice to move forward without revisiting unverified allegations. According to those narratives, this moment marked a clean reset on paper, a full stop placed on an earlier phase of life, allowing a new chapter to begin without overlap or public complication. As Meghan transitioned into her next stage, the Giuliano family, based on unverified personal accounts, are said to have continued living privately, away from public attention, honoring their own sense of responsibility and discretion. By the fall of 1995, Meghan arrived at Northwestern University, blending in as one student among thousands chasing ambition, opportunity, and self-definition.
Motive for writing family off because it would seemingly justify and perhaps delay the revelation of all of the lies that she had told the royal family.
To classmates and faculty, she was simply beginning her academic journey. No visible baggage, no public backstory, no hint of controversy. This was the version of her life that would later become familiar: education, performance, and long-term career focus. Those who discuss this period often describe it as a deliberate break from the past. Meghan reportedly immersed herself in theater, new friendships, and creative goals, constructing a future that aligned with her ambitions. From the outside, it looked like a natural evolution, young adulthood unfolding exactly as expected. In contrast, the other individuals connected to these allegations are described as remaining rooted in their private lives. According to the same unverified accounts, one parent figure stayed involved in raising a child within a close family structure. These claims, however, have never been supported by documentation or acknowledged publicly by Meghan, and they remain firmly in the realm of speculation. What fuels continued discussion is not what is known, But what is absent? No records, no confirmations, no public disputes, and no legal challenges have surfaced. For many observers, the lack of visible conflict suggests that if private arrangements existed, they were handled discreetly and resolved long before public fame entered the picture. Over the years, online commentators have suggested that a child raised within a family environment could grow up entirely outside public awareness. That scenario, while unproven here, is not unusual in private households that prioritize discretion. It is important to stress that no verified evidence links Meghan to such a situation, and no individual has ever come forward with substantiated claims. As time passed, Meghan's public profile grew, auditions, acting roles, and increasing visibility, eventually leading to global recognition. Meanwhile, the individuals connected to these rumors are described as living ordinary lives, untouched by media attention. That contrast, extraordinary fame on one side, quiet normalcy on the other, is often what keeps speculation alive. Today, decades later, these claims continue to circulate largely because of unanswered questions. A sealed annulment, a missing year, and family disagreements form a narrative that attracts curiosity, but not confirmation. Without verifiable records or first-hand acknowledgement, the story remains unproven and incomplete. What happens if someone ever steps forward? That question remains hypothetical.
They were empowered at Immaculate Heart by the nuns to be independent women. But wait a minute, who paid for Immaculate Heart? That was all my dad, so let's face it.
Until then, this chapter exists as part of online speculation rather than documented history. A reminder of how silence, privacy, and fame can collide in ways that leave lasting curiosity without clear resolution. This is not fan fiction, and it's not presented here as proven fact. What's being discussed exists in the space of allegations, family disputes, and long-standing claims that have circulated for years, largely without official confirmation. According to those who repeat this narrative, the story lives in sealed files, private conversations, and memories shared quietly among people who say they were close to the situation at the time. Publicly, Meghan Markle has built a well-documented story of reinvention: student, actress, public figure, and eventually a member of the British royal family. That arc is familiar, widely reported, and supported by verified milestones. Yet critics argue that beneath every polished public timeline, there can be chapters that remain unresolved or unexplained. Those making these claims suggest there was an early chapter involving a brief relationship, a short-lived legal arrangement, and decisions handled privately long before global fame entered the picture. These assertions remain unverified and are strongly disputed by the absence of public records or acknowledgement. Still, the persistence of the discussion raises questions about how silence and privacy shape public perception. Silence can last a long time, sometimes years, sometimes decades. But silence also invites speculation, especially when fame magnifies every gap in a personal history. If this chapter truly exists only as rumor, it highlights how easily narratives can grow when information is limited. If it doesn't, it demonstrates how family conflict and media attention can create stories that refuse to disappear. The story of Meghan Markle has always been framed around transformation and forward motion. From entertainment to international prominence, her public life reflects constant evolution. What remains debated is not what is proven, but what some believe was deliberately left behind before that rise began. So now the question turns to you. Do you think the claims made by family members should be taken seriously? Or do you see this as another example of speculation filling the gaps left by privacy and silence? There's no single correct answer, only perspectives shaped by what we choose to believe. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Respectful discussion matters, and every viewpoint adds to the conversation. And if you want more deep dives into public narratives, disputed claims, and the stories that exist beyond headlines, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. We explore these topics carefully, thoughtfully, and without sensationalism, because context always matters. Subscribe, share your perspective, and stay tuned, because some stories don't end where the official timeline stops.